So the TVS X is not probably going to be a purchase you'll make with your brain. It's more that you'll make it with your heart. I feel like I'm back in my mathematics class once again because I've been given a question. I have to apply some theorems, find out the value of some variables, and make some deductions. And basically, solve for x. You have to hand it to TVS for bringing such a cool and unique design into the scooter market in India. Many moons ago, we saw the Creon concept at the Auto Expo, and now the production version of that vehicle is not too dissimilar, which is a great feat achieved by the company. I mean, it looks pretty much like those maxi scooters we see in other countries, and it's definitely going to look unique out on the road. If that is something that you're going for, then you will definitely like the design of the scooter. It is very futuristic. You can see this imposing panel at the front. The red color really matches with the exposed blue of the subframe and even all the black parts. The color combination goes really well with each other, and at the front you can see this LED vertical strip of headlights. So there's a position lamp, there are two low beam lights and then two high beam lights over there. It also comes with cornering lamps, which means that when you're taking a turn after a certain percentage of lean, like you can see right now, the lamp on that side will switch on, which is helpful if you are riding at night and there is no ambient lighting. So this can help illuminate the corner a little more. It's a good safety feature. Even the handlebar, you can see, gets two very interesting things. One is this lever protector. It is on both sides, which is great. And you also have adjustable levers. So from a practicality standpoint, that's a good addition, and it also looks really good as well. Even at the back, you have a slim vertical LED tail lamp, which complements the overall design. Now, there are a lot of plastic bits here and there, but the reason I don't mind their inclusion is because they look good. Like you can see, this tail section has all plastic, but it's fairly good quality. It has been finished well. These panels do, however, creak. If you press, then these red panels do creak, so you can hear that. However, there is no visible flex in them. So once again, I think I'll let that pass, and this is something which I think TVS can again improve over time. The seat cushion that you see here, you have a split seat design. Now, I did not test it with a pillion right now. That will have to wait till the road test review, but there is enough room for a 6 foot tall person like me on the seat. The seat cushion is quite soft, so that I think should be good on longer journeys. And there seems to be decent amount of space for the pillion as well, and there is a hidden grab handle right over here, so if you're sitting at the back, you can hold on to that. And one very cool thing is the foot peg for the pillion comes out like that, which is again a very small but a very neat addition to the design of the scooter. And over on this side, you will see that there is a blue strip that illuminates on the arm, which looks again good, and all these small additions kind of come together and make this look like a truly unique offering in this price segment. Okay, so let's start off with the party pace of the TVS X, which is this huge 10.2-inch touchscreen unit. And before I get into the actual touchscreen features, it can be tilted by about 35 degrees, so you can manually tilt the screen according to your liking, which is pretty great because if you're a rider of different height or if you have the sunlight falling at a certain angle, so you can set it according to your preference. So that is a good accessibility option. Now, as for the display, the touch response is rather good, and the response from the OS is also pretty decent. It's not the most snappy one out there, but it does get the job done, and I really like the fact that the maps are rather fluid. So even if you are searching for some destinations, then it comes up very quickly. And obviously this comes with smartphone connectivity, which means that you can pair your smartphone with this and access a lot of features, not just calling and music playback, but you can also share the scooter location, rider stats with other members in your family. You can create different profiles for each and every member so that they can have their own options and own stats. So that is pretty good. And this screen also allows you to kind of shows this home screen area where you have all these different widgets, and you can decide to maybe delete some of these widgets or keep some of them, or maybe even rearrange them. So you can see that I am using this and I can move this around if I want to, or I can press and hold and just remove this. If I go and press here, you can see all the different widgets that are available right now, and I can simply just drag and drop one of them here. So as you can see, all that is pretty good. I however did not like the placement of this home button, because this is essentially your home screen, and I would have liked if it was maybe higher up top or maybe in the center, because that is how our brains are currently wired, that we know that the home button will be either in the center here or in some corner. This one feels a little out of place, so that is something which in terms of UI can be improved. Then you also have this apps menu, wherein you can not only browse the internet, you can watch videos and even play games. Yes, this scooter has a gaming feature, so you can play games on this. If I go into the videos tab right now, it's not connected to the internet, but if you are connected to the internet, you can watch Instagram Reels or you can watch YouTube videos. And this feature only is activated if the scooter is stationary. It won't work if the scooter is moving. And it's a kind of a gimmick, but I think it will have its uses. Maybe your phone is running out of battery and you want to kill time, so then you can just use the display on this scooter. It's quite big, it looks quite good also. Even in direct sunlight, I can see the color representation is pretty nice. The games do take a little bit of time to load because that is a very heavy application, but eventually once they're running, then they work relatively smoothly. Also, as of now, there aren't any other apps that you can add on to this scooter, but TVS is working on bringing in more apps into the ecosystem so that there is a bigger variety. You can maybe uninstall some and keep some others. Even in terms of customization, you can add up to 2 custom wallpapers. So you can take a picture, use the app to upload that picture onto the display and use that as your wallpaper. So that is also a nice customization feature. And even starting the scooter can happen in one of 3 ways. So there is no conventional key or any keyhole where you can put one. What you have to do is you can switch on the scooter using the button here and then input a password which you set, or you can start it using the mobile app or even the smartwatch. Overall, I would say that this is a very capable touchscreen and it is very big. It almost looks like a big tablet on the handlebar. I did not find it distracting while I was riding, so that is a good thing. It was never really taking too much attention away from me while I was riding. So the feature additions, while they might not appeal to everyone, but they are nice additions to have something different, something unique you can show to your friends and colleagues maybe. And the functionality of this infotainment system is rather good and it will only get better is what we've been told, and there are certainly things which can get better in this UI. I did not get a whole lot of time with the TVS X today. I rode a few laps on the test track here in Hosur at TVS's plant and did a few rounds around the facility itself. So I cannot give you a full-on review of the scooter in terms of riding, but that will come soon when we get it in our city. So make sure that you're subscribed to our channel for that. But initial impressions, well, the thing that surprised me was how easy it is to manage the scooter. Just like a lot of people watching this video, I myself had only seen the TVS X in pictures and in videos of other people. This is the first time I'm seeing the scooter in person. So in pictures, it looks very big. It looks like it'll be very heavy and bulky to move around. But actually this weighs just a little over 130 kilograms and it is very maneuverable. The wheelbase isn't so long that when you turn the scooter, you feel like you are turning like a big, long truck. No. That's not the case with this scooter. It is very maneuverable both at high speeds and even at lower speeds when you're manually pushing the scooter. To get it till this point, I had to manually push it into place and change the position around. and it has been very easy to manage. And you can see I'm not a very well-built guy, and if I can handle it, I think a lot of folks out there can handle it as well. For reference, my height is 6 feet, and you can see I am easily able to plant my feet on the ground, both of them. Even if you are, let's say, 5'9", 5'10", I don't think you'll have a lot of problem with the scooter. The seat height is good. Yes, if you move further back, the seat becomes wider, which means that your feet will be slightly higher up. But once you get on the scooter, the riding position is also very nice and neutral, and because there is a lot of room to move around, you can find your ideal position for different riding conditions. The ground clearance at 175 mm is also very handy. Out on the plant roads, there were a few big speed breakers, and this scooter was able to clear them with ease. So that is a good sign. If you ride it in the city, this will be a very good scooter. In terms of power delivery, now this has a peak output of 11 kilowatt, which translates to about 14.5 horsepower. You could say it's equivalent to something like a 150cc motorcycle. However, because this is an EV, you get instant torque. You have 3 riding modes: Stealth, Street and Sonic. Obviously, the Stealth mode is going to limit the power the most. I saw that it tops up around 48-49 kmph, and then you have the Street mode, which is going to be a more balanced mode, and then finally the Sonic mode, which unleashes all the power, and then you can really let loose. TVS claims a top speed of 105 km per hour, but out on the track, using the speedometer right here, I saw a figure of 111 km per hour briefly. So it does get up to speed. Until 90 kmph, it climbs very nicely. After that, you will notice a gradual decrease in how fast it can get to a higher speed. But doing 90 on this is not going to be a problem at all, and the scooter felt very stable as well. The acceleration itself is brisk, but it's not that jerky, neck-snapping kind of acceleration, even in the most aggressive mode, which can be disheartening for some people who would have thought that this is a very performance-oriented scooter. But I think that is a good thing, because when you're riding a scooter on a daily basis, you would not want it to jerk you back every time you pull on the accelerator. So that ways, this one is a bit more tame, but still can get up to highway speeds very easily. And obviously city speeds are not going to be a concern in this. You can make overtakes, get off the line very nicely. One thing which I liked was that there was an incline. I took the scooter on it, stopped, and then put it into the stealth mode, and then started rolling off. And the scooter had no issue with at least one person on board. With 2 people, I'll have to check. But if you live in an area where you have a lot of inclines, then even in the mode which produces the least amount of power, you can get going from a standstill if you're climbing up. Now, the suspension duties are handled by a telescopic fork at the front and a very fancy looking offset monoshock at the back. And both of them do a very good job of soaking in a lot of the bumps. Now, this was obviously not a very bumpy area, but whatever undulations there were on the tarmac and when I went over the speed breakers, the scooter was very compliant. The front really soaks in the bumps very well. There are times when you're going at a higher speed when there will be a little bit of bouncing if you're going on a tarmac road which isn't perfectly flat. So that is something you have to keep in mind. But for the most part, it is a comfortable suspension setup and it inspires a decent amount of confidence. I would not call this a corner cover. The tires do a pretty decent job of holding on to the grip when you are leaning a little bit. But I would say for most of the cases, these tires and the suspension setup are good. Obviously, if you want something a bit more sporty, you'll have to look elsewhere. The brakes, they are special on this because not only do you get disc brakes, but you also get single channel ABS. So if you use the front brakes, the ABS will be engaged, and that inspires more confidence if you want to brake aggressively, like I did a few times here when I was hitting the top speed and then I had to slow down to get into the corner. So the scooter was very compliant. Now, TVS is not giving the scooter with a charger, which I think is a bit of a problem. So you have 2 different charging options, a slower 950 watt and a faster 3 kilowatt charger. And the charging time is about 3.5 hours, which is pretty standard. And once you charge it up fully, TVS claims that it gives a claimed range of 120 kilometers on a single charge. Now, admittedly, that is not a lot. There are scooters which are much more affordable and they are offering similar charging numbers and similar range numbers. So that is one aspect where TVS can definitely improve the efficiency of this battery, or maybe pack in a slightly bigger battery pack if they can accommodate it somehow. And that is one area where they can probably make some improvements. The good part is that you get 5 levels of regen braking, so you can tweak the amount of regen that you want from the system. The thing that I did not like about that fact is that you have to really dig deep into the UI to get to the regen modes. The actual modes, the riding modes, you can easily switch using this button over here, but the regen modes, you have to go into settings, then go into vehicle settings, and then in vehicle settings you have selective regen, wherein you can select the different regen modes. So that is one thing that TVS could definitely improve. Maybe if there's a quicker on-screen button or an actual physical button that you can press to toggle between the various regen modes, that would be an improvement for sure. So the TVS X is not probably going to be a purchase you'll make with your brain. It's more that you'll make it with your heart, or if you want something different. If you look at it compared to ICE vehicles, then yes, it is a bit expensive at 2.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom. And considering the fact that you don't even get a charger with that, that will have to be an additional cost. So that makes it slightly on the more expensive side. However, if you look at it from the angle of EVs, then the existing scooters, yes, they are a lot cheaper than this, but if you add in all the options and all the features, then they do get within that 50,000-60,000 rupee range of the TVS X. And for that additional amount of money, you are getting a unique looking scooter, a big touchscreen which is quite capable, and the fact that you're buying a TVS product. It's a brand which has been in the market for a long while, and you know that you're getting a certain kind of quality, a certain kind of service if you buy into this ecosystem. And if there are any kind of kinks in the experience, then TVS will be quick to iron them out. We've seen that happen with the iQube. So that way you get a level of assurance for that extra money. And of course, like I mentioned throughout my review, there are certain things which TVS can improve, a little bit of change in the UI and slightly better tires perhaps, and that would change the experience in a positive manner. Right now, if you ask me, the base experience of the TVS X is pretty good. Yes, it's a little bit on the expensive side, but if you like the design, if you want something unique, then this is something you can definitely go for. As for this video, I'm ending it right here. I would love to spend more time with this scooter in the city and give you more pointers on what I think it is like to ride on a daily basis. So make sure that you're subscribed to our channel for that video when it drops in the future. Like this video, it really encourages us if you like the content that was provided. If you have any questions, criticisms or queries, then definitely comment them in the comment section below. Until the next time, this is Akash Paul signing off. Be safe when you're out on the road, whether you're on a 2-wheeler or 4-wheeler or 3-wheeler. Bye-bye.